looking for a partner, someone who knows Jesus Christ. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Truth in Love. And yes, I'm actually filming a video on the same day. I was like, you know what, I'm in my groove. I've already got my face on. I got my outfit. Like, why not just do another video? Keep it rolling. Please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. And thank you for being part of Truth in Love YouTube channel. I have a couple of hours before my gig actually starts, so I'm going to yet another Christian event at St. Paul's Cathedral. The lady called it one-to-ones. A very interesting experience. I think like it's splitting hairs. For all intents and purposes, it was speed dating, but Christian. In the first video, I talked a little bit about what it's like to be a Christian woman approaching 30, desiring marriage, and why? Why now in coronavirus and pandemic times when things are uncertain, when we don't even know if the world is open right about now. So I don't know. For some reason, I must have got it in my head that I was in a group chat and someone said, join Hinge. Bearing in mind, I have a friend who has been telling me to get on Hinge for like the past year. And for a long time, I was like, nah. Because really, I was thinking, well, how am I going to find a Christian man on Hinge? Little did I know that you have criteria. You can select what religion, you can select what ethnic background, how tall they are, how far away they live from you, what their political views are. Like, it's literally build a man. So that's what I did. I put in all my preferences, and anyone who knows me knows that I like a tall man. I'm 5'8.5", 174 centimeters. So I'm looking for a man who is 6'2" and above, and obviously a Christian man. But I don't think this criteria is particularly Christian, 6'2" and above, but I'm gonna roll with it, okay? So I put in all my preferences and away you go. You can look through, and I've got no shame. Look, I'm serious about being found by my husband, so I actually paid. Yes, I paid for 3 months, the premium, so you can kind of swipe unlimitedly all day. Not all day because that's not healthy, but I wanted to have as many options as possible, and I did my thing. The first thing I checked, are they a Christian? Because even though I said it as my only deal breaker, there were a few times when some beautiful young men slipped through the cracks, and you know, I'd already got invested in the profile and the beauty and the interesting things that they were saying in the bio, only to find out, oh, they don't love Jesus. When you meet someone very cute, very sweet, very pleasing to the eyes, but they don't love Jesus. Like I said in my previous video, I'm not averse to saying hello, to starting a conversation, to looking at what's on the profile and just striking up a bit of bants. Like, you got to show people that you got personality, because there's only so many times you can just be like, hi. I was just like, what? You exist? Oh, okay, Lord. So with my only deal breaker being that I'm looking for a Christian man, that meant asking, okay, so what does being a Christian mean to you? And I can tell you, I got a lot of interesting answers. Everything ranging from I was born a Christian to I was baptized to I go to church every week to I grew up in a Christian family to I believe in a higher power, everything. Yeah. So picture this, yeah. If I told you I am a Premiership footballer, Premiership, and you asked me, okay, what colour is your jersey? And I told you, actually, I don't know. You might be like, huh? And then you asked me, how many times a week and where do you train? And I said to you, I actually don't train every week. I train maybe once a year, like 25th of December, and then maybe around Easter. And then imagine if you asked me, when did you become a Premiership footballer? And I told you, I was actually born. I was born with my kit on. I came out of my mother's womb as a Premiership footballer. You would say, is this possible? And then imagine this, yeah. You asked me, Zaza, you're a Premiership footballer. What is the offside rule? And I said, the offside rule, offside. So that's like, where you have like the defender, like the defender can't be before the goalie, and then it's like in the box, but in the D, and then you have to like pass it before. I don't actually know what the offside rule is. I don't actually know. I got a rough idea, but I don't actually know. You would be like, what team is this? Are you sure that you're really a Premiership footballer? That's what you would say to me. Are you sure, fam? Why are you lying? And you'd be well within your rights, because it's a club, there's a membership, there's a way of entry that you don't just fall into. It's not tradition. There is something very specific that must happen for you to be able to legitimately call yourself a Premiership footballer. Being a Christian is simply somebody who's humble enough to say, I've been playing for the away team far too long. Jesus, I believe in you and I want to come home. I would have no right to be angry if you asked me questions about why and how it is that I call myself a Premiership footballer, but you'd be surprised. It's a very touchy subject, and I think when you grow up in church like I did, it's very difficult that separation between tradition and actually truth. And it's a journey that I encourage every single person to go on, is to question, whether you're a Christian or not, is to question, why do I believe what I believe? Is it actually true? If I question it, will it stand up as fact? Or am I attached to it because this is all I've known? And you might be, no, not even you might, you will be surprised what you find. Nobody ever says, but growth is really painful. Growth means cutting out a lot of rubbish and replacing it with truth. And because I was speaking to a lot of different gentlemen with various ideas of what it means to be a Christian, that lent itself to having really beautiful conversations with a lot of people, and actually evangelizing. I was initially on Hinge looking to be found by my husband, but it turned into something entirely different. Speaking with people, sharing the gospel, encouraging people in their faith, having challenging conversations, looking at myself. You know, it was really cool, but not necessarily what I had envisioned. I thought, okay, maybe the husband front, I'm gonna have to put the pause on that. But I thought, why not open out the search? and include women. So that's what I did. And as I said in my last video, intentionality is so key. So all of the women that I spoke to, I made sure in my very first message, I'm on Hinge purely platonically, to have conversations, to make friends. You know, I was very upfront about that. So that also opened up really interesting conversations with a lot of young ladies who identify as Christian, and also lesbian. And I'm not necessarily going to go too much into that topic right now, but I can tell you I had some really, really beautiful conversations. Some were willing to talk, some were not, and like, cool, I get it. It's not my fuss. But yeah, it just showed me the power of connectivity, the power of using all the tools that you have to reach people, to create relationships, to speak into people's lives, to have people speak into my life. Did I find my husband? I had to add this in because I was speaking to a friend of mine, and ladies, if you see a man who you are interested in, he is speaking to you, he's making conversation, I beg, make it easy for this gentleman. You know, playing hard to get, being coy, all of that stuff, ladies. Let's try and also be intentional in how we relate to men. If we're not sure that we're interested in him, that's a different story. But if you're open to getting to know someone, be open to getting to know them. If someone is offering to go for coffee or something, take them up on their offer. If you're interested, it's that simple. Let's also be intentional in how we relate to men, and make it as easy as possible to be found by our husbands. We know as people how hard it is to strike up a conversation sometimes with someone that you don't know. So if somebody has made the effort to come over, say hello, chat to you, be receptive, be friendly, be warm. You know, if he wants to get to know you and you're interested, ladies, drop those digits. Like, you know, I am definitely guilty of this in the past, of thinking that as long as I'm deep in prayer, that my husband is just going to appear out of nowhere. Ladies, there are some practical steps that we can take for sure. Like, on the real, we got to help our brothers out. And also something that my friend was saying, which was interesting, was that pursuit doesn't always necessarily take the case of walking up to someone out of nowhere and saying, hello, you, I want to get to know you. It could also mean asking a friend, hey, do you know so-and-so? Tell me a little bit about her. Do you know what I mean? That is also pursuit. And if we look at the story of Boaz, the way he pursued Ruth, he handled his business. He went to make sure that the next person who was actually legally in line to marry Ruth, he went and tied up loose ends. There are a lot of things that we've translated into dating that aren't necessarily godly. You know, walking up to somebody in the street is usually because you've seen something that you like. She looks good. You know, you're liking what you see. And while there's nothing wrong with that, a Christian brother who's going to approach you, he wants to know more than just, okay, she looks good, cool, but can we get on? Because it says it's better for a man to live on a corner of a roof than to live with a nagging wife. So he wants to know more than just she looks good. I think there's been a lot of things on both parts, and we can for sure address those and just have healthier practices. And also, have you considered, I mean, the whole point of this video is that the man God has for you, you won't necessarily be meeting him on a Sunday morning or at some Christian conference. Have you considered that? Can I continue to just be like really, really real with you? Because we got enough Christian sisters in particular sitting in churches, warming pews from various ages, like late teens up until, you know, very mature, who are unmarried. Why? What is happening? Are our standards like really unrealistic? And I'm not talking about standards like just what they look like. For me, what are you about is much more important. Like I said in my previous video, I'm not necessarily looking for a church boy because I want somebody who's living for Jesus Monday to Sunday. So whether or not you see him serving on this team or that team, like, is he out in the world, like actually living for Christ? Is he making a difference in his place of work? Is he, loving, kind, gentle, sharing the gospel, really being about this? So could it be that where we've gone wrong is that we're expecting to find this spiritual man of God in the four walls of somewhere we call church? Because when we look at where Jesus was out and about. Jesus was on a road. Jesus was a road man, in the sense that, when Jesus went into the four walls of established religion, he was actually calling them out on their practices that had strayed so far away from what he originally intended. So could it be that perhaps the man who is really godly and living for Christ is not necessarily in a religious establishment on a Sunday? I'm just going to leave that there and let that marinate. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video on what it's like to be a former church girl, because some of you know I left church, and I'm going to be talking about that real soon, but not in this video. So yeah, I just want to pose that question. Could it be that this man who really, lives like Christ, looks like Christ, he's not in church? Ew, controversial, but not controversy for the sake of controversy. Oh my goodness, I just said controversy 2 different ways. I don't know how you say it. Whatever. We want to speak about these issues because now's the time. For real, now's the time. And ladies, like, let's be real. Are you looking for prophet, apostle, evangelist, super deacon, archbishop, minister, so and so? Or are you open to someone who is also like you, who's like-minded, who's down to earth, who understands the word, who's not, spitting hallelujah, amen in every sentence? Like, let's be real. Like, what are you looking for? Because really and truly, them ones there, are they really about it? Are they really sacrificing their time, giving to the poor, loving people, making money not just for themselves but to benefit others? Like, if you're really looking for the man who looks like Christ, he probably won't look like a lot of pastors, like a lot of people in positions of power in what we call Christianity. I'm just going to leave that there. And please note, before anybody gets the wrong idea, I did not say a man who's gone rogue, who has no community, who is not consuming the word on a daily basis, who's not worshipping with other people, who can't be corrected or correct anyone else. No, that's not what I said. I just said perhaps he's not a church boy. I personally wouldn't recommend online dating, purely for the fact that it's really hard to get a gauge on someone, get a gauge on their vibe. Like, if you want to chat to somebody, you want to see them, you want to know their mannerisms, you want to check that they're not a catfish, chances are you're going to have to give them your number. And then you have a video call or you have a telephone call. But what I was actually doing as well is setting up some Zoom dates. So you don't have to give out your number, but you can still see someone face to face and have that video call experience. That's a tip just on me. Hello. There you go. Don't say I never give you anything. But even a video chat, it's not the same as physically laying eyes on someone. It's not the same as being able to smell them. Does their breath smell? Do they have good hygiene? Are they really as tall as they say they are? Do they even live in the place that they claim to live? Like, all of these different things. Even just, do you guys vibe? Like, those are things that you can only tell in person, in flesh. So given the situation right now as well, especially, and moving forward, I guess people are a lot more hesitant to be like, yeah, let's meet up, because you don't know what the person is carrying. You don't know. If they don't even live in the same country, like, how's that gonna work? How you gonna get a vibe for someone? I think for me, it's time to hang up my profile for good. I don't know. In a year's time, I might be like, maybe I should just have a look, see if anyone new is on, because it's not about quantity. It's not about meeting loads and loads of people. Although what I would suggest is don't focus your attention on one person. Even if you find someone that you like and you've got chemistry with, still keep your options open. Still be speaking to multiple people. I don't mean that in a like player type of way. I mean, don't hang your hats on any one man, because if that man hasn't earned a position of priority, then you don't need to be giving them that position. And I'm speaking to all my ladies right now, and I guess men might be able to take the same advice, but specifically to my ladies, don't put all of your eggs in one basket before that man shows himself worthy of your time, worthy of your affections, worthy of your plans, worthy. I'm gonna keep it 100. Is he offering to call you up? Is he showing you that he values you, that he sees you as a diamond? Because if he's not, sister, don't be giving him no special attention, okay? What I learned as well is inviting people into your friendship group is a really good way to see how they get on with other people. And now that everything's moved online, there's lots of different Zoom calls and stuff, so you can just be like, hey, jump in my Zoom call, come meet my friends, and your friends can give them a once over. But also, this comes with caution. If you're inviting a person that you don't know into your friendship circle, it could be that your friends start really liking this person, and if it doesn't work out with you guys, then they're in your friendship circle now. So you just want to think about that. And of course, prayer. Consult God. What does God say? Should you be online? Has God specifically told you? Yeah, jump on. If you're trying to put yourself on somewhere that God never told you to be, or he specifically told you to go somewhere else, be obedient, like, real talk. Save yourself the hassle. For me, I felt absolutely cool, justified in going on Hinge, and it was an interesting experience. Would I do it again? I would. Would I change a few things? Absolutely. And I was saying in my previous video that sometimes we just want our feelings and our pain to be acknowledged. So if you are waiting for marriage, I see you, I acknowledge you, I hear you, and I speak life and encouragement into you. I'm not going to tell you to go and do this or do that. I'm just going to say, Jesus loves you. He has a plan for you. This season, however painful, however long, however annoying or frustrating, this season is here for a reason. Whatever lessons you need to learn, whatever growth needs to happen, whatever part of you that needs adjusting, looking at, to make you the best person that you can be when you meet your intended. Allow the season to do that and enjoy it. Like, as weird as it sounds, enjoy the painful process, because there will come a time when you'll look back on your single days. There will come a time when I'll look back on this video with my kids and I'll say, oh wow, that feels like a million years ago. Now I've got a whole crop of new problems that I didn't have when I was single. So enjoy this time. And this is even like my time capsule to myself. Zaza, enjoy this time. You, beautiful viewer, enjoy this season. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and thank you for being part of Truth in Love YouTube channel. Take care.